everybody. It's Dan and Tyler,
Hey.
and I got some bad news. So that Toys R Us that I got lost in about 3 weeks ago. So it turns out that Toys R Us right next to the Blockbuster, you know the one, Tyler. It's where I got lost,
Yeah.
where you guys lost me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when you guys came to pick me up finally, it turns out it's not a Toys R Us anymore. It is a very strangely opened, very early opened Spirit Halloween store.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and you and Trey came to pick me up. I was standing out front with my soccer ball, that type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But Trey decided to go in to look at, fake rats for a minute. And I swear he said he was just going to be a minute.
Yeah.
And I think he never came out. We waited like 20 minutes, man.
We did. I mean, I think we gave him enough time. Honestly, if he wanted to come out, he would have come out by now. I think he's just found a new home there.
I think that's really it. So, I mean, who knows when he'll be back? He's in a Spirit Halloween, so there's a lot in there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can dress up as Thanos and Guy from Fortnite, and...
Yeah, and I think you can...
Actually, Thanos is also the guy from Fortnite.
Yeah. I'm sure you could,
Thanos was in Fortnite.
They have, candy there and stuff, right? He can probably forage for a while and survive on his own for a bit.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He
Yeah.
can eat a plastic rat. I think they have some edible glitter.
Ooh.
Yeah, but no, in all seriousness... Trey has moved. He'll still be on the podcast next week, but Trey has gone to college. We're super proud of him.
Yay.
Yeah, so he's figuring out college right now. But to keep his spirit alive, Tyler.
And the Halloween spirit, of course.
Yeah, and Spirit Halloween. Shop Spirit Halloween. There's there's one that already has a banner up by me, not related to anything.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, why? Yeah, right? That's all Indiana is, man. I swear. It's like
Is Spirit Halloween
abandoned strip mall. No, it's abandoned strip mall. So yeah, Spirit Halloween stores.
Yeah. The one all year round Spirit Halloween in the country.
Is that real?
No, I don't know.
I mean, it's got to be somewhere, right?
You would think.
But anyway, in Trey's memory, in his legacy, I did a thing this week, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly because I had some free time before my classes started. And I went through my Steam backlog.
Oh, man.
Steam bag. To be fair, let me lead with this. My Steam backlog is not as large as Trey's. It's, I think, 15 games on there that I have played less than a couple hours of.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's more games I've played and dropped without giving a fair chance, if I'll be honest. One of the best examples I can think in there is the Okami HD remake.
Yeah, no, that was really good. I loved that one, honestly. That was my first interaction with Okami ever, was the HD one.
Same, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't play it this week, but I think I talked about it briefly with Trey. I really liked the parts of that game where I got to play. I was not a fan of the beginning of that game. I think it was way too much of a cutscene, handhold.
Yes.
I'm like, I want to play the game. Let me play your video game.
I think that was my biggest critique on the game as well, is that it handholds you for so long.
Mm-hmm. And I think I didn't want to play that at the time.
That's fair. But the game is beautiful, though, and...
Oh, yeah. And I absolutely am going to play it sometime, eventually.
Yeah.
Like I said. But I played a few games that, oh boy, am I glad they're out of that backlog. As a side note, most of the games in my backlog I think I got from Humble bundles or doing Humble monthlies.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never realized I had them until I claimed the key. Let me walk you, Tyler, on an adventure of a game I got to play. I will put it this way. This was a major release a few years ago, a while ago actually. Cost, full price game on release of the Xbox One.
Oh.
And in 1 2-hour play session, I beat, I think, a quarter of the game.
Wow.
Yeah, and I am talking about the one and only... Do you know the game Rise, Son of Rome?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it just supposed to be at the time it was a graphically amazing looking game or something like that?
Yeah, it was supposed to be super high-end graphics. It was a release title for the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point of it is show what this baby can do.
Yeah, exactly.
And oh boy. So I will, like I said, I played only about 2 hours of the game and then I dropped it. I think that's all I needed to give it. Like there's nothing to that game. The game is almost entirely based on, to call it a God of War knockoff is generous.
Okay.
The basic gameplay style is hit X button, so it's like that button mashy old school God of War style.
Yeah.
And then do a quick time kill. The thing is, I played it, I think on normal or hard difficulty, and quick time kills, uh it's like these slow-mo, like super played out, like, oh, hit like a quick time event button to slash this guy with your sword and then bash him with your shield.
Yeah.
You get those after hitting a guy with a sword about 4 times. And there's no reason not to do them. So I think the majority of my 2 hours was just watching quick time event kills.
Probably like what, the same 2 or 3, like over and over again.
They had a fair amount, but they're all
okay.
boring. Like, I think
Yeah.
it's also, let me put it this way. When I say quick time events, the quick time event portion of it doesn't matter. You can just not input anything and you'll still kill the guy.
Oh. Okay.
So the game is hit kill button. And then it really dates itself, I'll say. There's a point, it's in the beginning of the game, because remember, your Xbox One used to come bundled with Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember the Kinect?
Oh, yeah. That thing.
Yeah. So there's a point in the game where it very clearly you were supposed to be shouting orders into the Kinect. You're like manning a ballista and you're telling, it's super awkward on keyboard, and I love it because you're just standing there watching like this static horde of the same 4 barbarian character models copy and pasted like over and over,
Yeah.
And you just have it like flashes up on the screen all dramatically. It's like, tell your soldiers to fire by pressing the E button. And, if you had a Kinect, you're supposed to be all like, oh, fire on that. And it was going to be so cool and futuristic.
Yeah, you're in the action. You're shouting and having a part of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and making an ass of yourself to anybody watching you play it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, I mean, like I said, I got about 2 hours in. The story is also, like, laughably bad.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have they have a level where, like, first of all, the entire story is a flashback. Let me lead with that.
The entire story? Like,
well, you play the first level where you basically run with this other guy into a sealed tomb, and then he's like, who are you? And you're like, my name is Damascus. Let me tell you my story.
Okay.
And then the rest of the game is leading up to that story.
It's just you telling your story? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you telling the story of this guy who was Roman and killed people.
All right. Sounds
It was, man, I got the game for free and I think I paid too much money for it. And if anything, I now just think back to like a few people I know who bought an Xbox One on release and had got that game.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Man, that kind of reminds me. I saw the PlayStation Plus games for next month, and one of them is Darksiders 3. And
Ooh.
I was like, oh, they found the price I'm willing to pay for that, which is nothing.
Yeah. Which is free and included with 5 other games.
Yep.
Or however many PS Plus gives you. I don't know.
It only gives you 2 a month, but...
Okay, but you get to keep them. That's the thing.
Yeah, you do get to keep them forever, I think. I don't think you have to maintain the PlayStation Plus membership.
You might have to. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know. I hope you don't, because I think I'm coming up on the year mark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only like, what, $50 a year?
That's true. It's not that much.
Yeah, and to keep that many games, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but... I don't know. It's... Yeah, Darksiders, that...
I heard the third one was not great, and honestly, I didn't really play a lot of the first 2.
Yeah, the first 2 were, like... very... I don't know. They were, like, very hack and slashy, weren't they?
Well, they were, like... Yeah, they were very hack and slashy. Like, They had hack and slash combat, and then the rest of the game was them trying to be Zelda but darker.
So Twilight
Yeah,
Princess.
Twilight Princess but worse. So,
Ah,
um, yeah. It I don't know. Like the games I would play a little bit, they'd be kind of enjoyable, and then they'd completely lose me. And the second game had all of this, like they tried to do like an RPG inventory management kind of thing, and I was not having any of it really. So
hmm
I don't know. We'll see how the third one goes, but I don't have high hopes. And then I've heard people be like, "Oh, they tried to be like Dark Souls in that one," and oh my
oh my
god,
god.
am I tired of hearing Dark Souls?
Yeah, if anything, whenever anything is called the Dark Souls of something, it just makes me never want to play
Oh
it.
yeah.
Like,
Or anytime it's just even compared to Dark Souls. Granted, I am probably going to be unpopular for saying this, but I didn't really enjoy Dark Souls.
I've never played it. They never. It's so. I mean, Trey and I have had this discussion a few times, and if he ever listens to this episode, I'm sure he will, and he'll agree with how we kind of always discuss it. The Dark Souls games aren't necessarily these insanely hard games. They're very Twitch reaction based,
Yeah.
and learning. Like, in all honesty, I also started playing Divinity 2 again. I repicked up that game. That's a fucking hard game.
Yeah.
Like, not in like an unfair hard. It's like a, oh hey, let me try. Usually not in an unfair hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes RNG, it's D&D essentially. Sometimes RNG is just like, oh hey, what do you mean this guy landed his 10% chance to stun 4 times in a row?
Yeah. I will
But
clarify that when you say Divinity 2, you mean Divinity Original Sin 2, because Divinity 2 is a different game.
oh right, yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2. My apologies.
Oh, no problem. It's
Deluxe edition.
their naming conventions are dumb. So,
Yeah, how do you have two original sins?
well, yeah, there's two original sins. There's also Divinity in Divinity 2, I think. Plus, there's a handful of other Divinity games like Divinity Dragon Commander, which was supposed to be their big game, and then Original Sin happened, and that was supposed to be their like, oh, we're doing this just to like fill time, basically. And then it became the popular one.
Yep.
But yeah, no, there's a ton of Divinity games. Anyway,
Yeah. But anyway, those games are that game. Going back to the discussion at hand, that game is like unfair. Sometimes kick you in the balls hard.
yeah,
You're hitting the quick save button anytime you take 10 steps successfully.
yep,
I mean, as yeah, whereas Dark Souls is, I'd say, almost more a game of like pattern recognition.
yeah,
Yeah, and then it's just not my style of game.
yeah,
I almost wanted to pick up the when they re-released it in HD on the Switch, but I know even this is just kind of who I am. I still don't even want to pay $40 for a decade-old game, even if it's re-released in HD or something.
yeah. I
That's
could
just
see
me, though.
that.
Usually, it has to be a game I like.
Yeah, I will say though, the exception being when they completely redo a game, like I definitely see myself picking up Medieval very soon when that comes out, which I think is going to be like a Halloween time release.
Oh yeah, the new Medieval, or
It's not new. It's the it's like what
yeah,
they did
yeah,
with Spyro, where they basically
what they did with Spyro and
completely
Crash.
rebuilt it. Yeah,
hmm
that one, and then
Well,
the similar one of Zelda, Link's
oh
Awakening.
yeah, Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
That one, I still can't get over the art style. I maybe, like I said, maybe I'll be that guy in a few, like in a decade from now, like the people who shit on Wind Waker,
yeah, and then
for the
they're
art
like,
style.
then it became this like everything compares itself to Wind Waker.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get behind the Link's Awakening style. Also, I don't have any attachment to Link's Awakening, so
You see, I've actually never
yeah,
played Link's Awakening,
same. I've never played it either.
but it looks like a beautiful game, and I've always liked the Zelda games, so I feel like why not?
hmm
I know a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
looks
people love it.
very. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks very. I mean, honestly, I don't even hate the art style that much. I just don't know if I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I think the thing I was most thrown off with was the very like early on when they showed a very like anime looking cutscene.
Yeah, it was like anime AF, and then you get in, and he's got. It's honestly just like Link's weird doll eye look. I'm like,
Yeah,
don't know how I feel about
I don't
this.
know. It doesn't seem too different for how they went with like the 3DS games, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is to be honest, it looks similar to Link Between Worlds, which is one of my favorite Zeldas.
Yes.
Yeah, mostly because I had never played a Link to the Past.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
lead with I've never beaten a Link to the Past, but when I played a Link Between Worlds, it was a very fun time.
Yes. I grew up on Link to the Past. That was like my very first Zelda game, so that was for me, Link
Yeah,
Between Worlds was just a huge nostalgia trip, basically.
yeah. I mean, me and Zelda games, like I can say this in safety now that Trey's not here. I think I have not played actually most Zelda games through completion, if I'm being honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
let me go through the list. I mean, I also have a couple hot takes because I think the Zelda games I played I really liked, but
Which ones
for what
were
I've
those?
Minish Cap for starters, I love that game.
Oh,
I will defend
I
that game
think
to
you
death.
might be in the minority for that one, but
I don't know. I
or you're
think
right.
there's like
Actually,
a
there's Phantom Hourglass, which is the one that I think is really considered not.
yeah, Phantom Hour. I've never played Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks. I know people hate both of those or hate
Yeah.
on both of those.
I've
And those two I've never played.
yeah, I've never played those two. I haven't played Minish Cap.
I would recommend Minish Cap. I For a Game Boy Advance Zelda, it is really really fun.
Yeah.
Like the shrinking mechanic has some cool things to it. It's very I remember liking it a lot. And I mean also it's a Game Boy Advance game. You can find it for $2 now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I might have to see if I can
Mhm.
find that.
Yeah, the other big one. This is the big one I'll lead with. I have never played Majora's Mask past like the first temple.
Don't worry, you're not alone there.
Yeah. Oh, have you not either?
Nope. Like
Really?
there was things I liked about the game, but the whole like
Mhm.
3 days cycle thing was just never a thing I could get past.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing too is I never owned a copy of that game. I had Ocarina of Time, and I think that's what the big thing was growing up is when I saw Majora's Mask was happening, it's like, but I already have Ocarina of Time. I played Ocarina of Time a lot.
Yeah.
I also don't think I finished or beat Ocarina of Time until I think I was like 17 or 18.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I played it a lot as a kid, but then I just never finished it.
I think I beat that game like half a dozen times at least.
See, Tyler, I am bad at video games. Donkey Kong 64, growing up, I could never beat Diddy Kong's Jack in the Box boss. I had to have somebody else do it for me.
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished that game either. I don't remember getting to the end of Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, I finished it, but I just can never beat that boss.
Hmm.
So I never would have.
Yeah.
So if I hit, I was very, when I was younger, like if I hit something in a game where I'm like, "Ah, I can't beat, must stop."
Yeah, no, I can see that. I feel like I actually am more that way now than I was when I was a kid because I just had so much more
And
free time and I would just be, I don't know, stubbornly going at it over and over again. Whereas now it's just I hit any form of resistance and I'm like, well, I have 100 other games I could be playing. Goodbye, game.
I almost get that. It depends on the mood. I'll have a story that I'll tell you. It's about Divinity again. I'll tell you it after the podcast
Okay.
because I think we're on a tangent here.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, we'll tie it back. And I guess tying back to what we were kind of talking about, that's why I've never picked up Dark Souls. I never got into it, is because I'm like, man, I don't. I have this category of games, and it's essentially Dark Souls, Sekiro, Cuphead, all sit in it. Of I really respect these games. I think they're super cool.
Hmm.
I'm not going to spend money on them because I don't have the time or energy to get good at the mechanics to play them,
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
if that makes sense. Yeah, like even competitive games that I play, like I play a little bit of Smash Bros. I play like League, and even you can kind of agree with me. I think when we all played Heroes of the Storm for a while,
Hmm.
none of us played that to be in like Challenger or Plat or
No.
any high ranking.
No, we didn't want to be
Yeah.
bad, but we weren't really trying to be amazing either. And usually it was just
Yeah.
how can we be stupid and have fun with this?
Yeah, that happens with me a lot still of how can I have fun?
Hmm. I mean, honestly, otherwise, what's the point of playing games, right? Like,
Yeah, if I want to play a game to be mad and have to like work at it, I don't have the time for that.
Yep.
Which is why my backlog is as many games as it is.
Yeah.
And see, I brought it all back around. I mean, I'll play, for to be honest, I'll play most of these games still. And there's also just games in there that I need to play, but I still have Divinity Original Sin 2 to beat.
I honestly do as well, so
Yeah, and I
yeah,
started
I'm right
another
there with
playthrough
you.
in Stardew Valley.
Yep. That's
So,
also what I'm doing.
oh, you want to have a multiplayer farm? You want to farm
I
together, Tyler?
just did a multiplayer farm with a friend. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, you're
sorry.
fine.
It's
You're fine. You're fine. You can have four
but
people on a
man,
farm, whatever. But
yeah, that's true. That game I feel
yeah,
like winter just gets so freaking boring when you have more than one person.
yeah, you either do an adventuring party or
Yeah.
I could talk on Stardew Valley forever. That is a game I have sunk hundreds
Okay.
of hours into,
Yeah,
literally hundreds.
we're in year 3 and it just feels like there's nothing to do because we've completed every quest, we've done basically everything. So all it is just I don't know, try to get all the dumb achievements and buy all the things that are worth ridiculous amounts of money.
Well, I mean that, and you have to like think. See, if you're real, Tyler, you optimize. You unlock the quarry by now?
Oh,
You have the
easily.
quarry.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what you do with the quarry, Tyler. You clear out all the rocks and you fill it with beehives.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you fill it with beehives, and then I think you can. Oh my god, I can't go back into Stardew Valley, Tyler. It can't happen. But here's the real question: have you found a dinosaur egg yet?
I don't think so. Is that like one of the hardest like collectibles or whatever? Hardest
It's a
museum things?
collectible, and you can. No, it's a museum thing, but you can also raise dinosaurs, Tyler.
Wait, really?
It, yeah, if you dig up a dinosaur egg, that is my El Dorado, my lost civilization that I need to find in Stardew Valley still.
Yeah, I don't think we've
Is that
seen one yet at all.
Yeah, if you dig it up, you either dig them up from like the worm patches or you go fishing and you have to use a lure. You have to use like the treasure lure. And I cannot talk Stardew Valley theory for another hour.
That's fair.
But yeah. Moral of the story, if you find a dinosaur egg, put it in the incubator in your chicken coop and it'll hatch a dinosaur.
Nice.
And then that dinosaur will lay eggs that you can turn into the museum and hatch more dinosaurs.
That sounds awesome. So that's the true end game of Stardew Valley is what you're saying
I have been trying to get one
is create Jurassic
for
Park.
2 years. Yeah, it's just have a bunch of fucking dinosaurs. Oh,
Oh man, if you
I would die happy.
got to name your farm that at the beginning, then Jurassic Farm. I think it forces you to have
see.
farm.
What if it just like had a seed though, where it's like if farm name Jurassic Farm Jurassic Park, then no dinosaur like
It
then
will never
dinosaur
spawn.
drop a yeah
Oh, that would be terrible.
yeah
That'd be such a
yeah.
just middle finger move. Oh,
You wouldn't do that to me, right, Chucklefish, concerned ape?
right?
Anyway, I led us on a tangent.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing is playing Stardew Valley again. Please help, send help, and
Yeah.
played Rise in a Rome. What'll happen next on this discount version of Trey's Steam Bath known as Dan's
Yeah, I'm just gonna like
weird thing you
I'm just gonna take Trey's theme and it's just gonna be like where it says Trey's name, it'll just be Dan Steam Bath or something like that.
I like that. I love that. Yeah. But anyway, so Tyler, what have you been up to this week?
So I've been I guess I'll first talk about the game I've been playing. Which I talked about briefly with Trey a couple weeks ago. But Legend of Heroes.
But I'm not Trey.
You aren't Trey, and you were not here.
Yeah.
You were lost in Toys R Us /
Yeah.
Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, which is a big JRPG, apparently has a very big like cult following, or at least a lot of people really like it, despite the fact that I've never really heard of the game. I think I'm reaching the end of the game. It says I'm in the final chapter, although there's still so much story-wise that hasn't been touched. So I'm wondering if they designed the game specifically knowing that they were going to make a second game. So they
Hmm.
just hinted at a bunch of stuff in the second game, which I don't know if I'm crazy about for a JRPG, but whatever. I still got
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say.
40 hours into this game already, so it's not like I didn't get my money's worth.
Yeah, but do you want to finish something that took you 40 hours for them to be like, hey,
Play a new game.
you get to do it again?
Yeah. Yep.
Not even a new game, a similar game. You want to do that again?
Yeah,
Do it
same
again.
characters, just I guess I wonder if you like start at a higher level or what happens. Like it's obviously you're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
be continuing from the same characters. I don't think a game that was for whatever this was for, the like PSP or PS Vita or something like that. I don't think that game would have had save file porting between games.
I don't know. I don't think so.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. It's if the game really does continue right where the first one left off, then that could be a little weird. Going from all the items and skills and stuff that you're used to whatever they decide to give you, I guess.
They just have to write it in. It's the, what would I call it? Like the anti-MacGuffin of like, you like start, you go to a new area, and then you just like lose everything. I'm trying to think. It's like
Yeah,
Samus
Samus at
at
the
every
beginning of
game.
every game. Oh no, all
Yeah.
of my power ups.
So, oh no, all of these things connected to my suit. I have dropped them. Please help.
Yup. And they've
Yeah,
scattered
no.
across the four winds. Apparently.
Or no, God of War is the other example where I think it's one of the God of War games you just like start it and Zeus is like, but first I need to drain you of all your power and items.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, idiot.
Yeah, I guess you want me to fail Zeus.
I think he did. I think that was the point of that game.
That's true. That's probably true. Because don't you like kill Zeus in one of those games? Anyway,
I think it was the one where you end up killing Zeus.
okay, then that makes sense.
But yeah, no, but they'll do that type of deal where like your characters will be like, "Hey guys, how about we sell everything?"
Yeah. Hey, let's just forget everything we learned over the past 40 hours of gameplay and just become idiots. So,
I have fallen and hit my head.
oh yeah, do the amnesia route, which is what the East games do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you mentioned that before even just
Yeah, it seems like,
I have forgotten how to be hero.
yo. Anyway,
Oh
those
lord.
games. I did actually pick up the latest East game, and I will be playing it sometime soon. But anyway, so I will report on that later.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go immediately into another JRPG. Anyway, Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. This is a game that I said I was going to talk about a while ago. Um, yeah, I guess. Anyway, so far it's I don't know. I've been enjoying it. The story's actually pretty good. The combat is getting a little more interesting. Although it really wants you to prepare for big battles. Like it's just like, hey, make sure all your bars are fully charged and everything here. Like go just farm stuff until you've built up your
Mhm.
equivalent of a limit meter. um, in order to beat
Mhm.
this. Also, I'm at a point in the game right now where they're just like not even disguising the fact where like the final chapter of this is basically a tournament arc, and between every single tournament match they're like, hey, here's a key to this new part of the sewer, hint hint, go farm like 3 levels and then come back.
Yeah, just oh man, if only you were a
A little
little
stronger,
stronger,
yeah.
you'd beat this guy for sure.
Why don't you go warm up? Just huge quotes and like, yeah, it's
Go punch some rats.
pretty much, yeah, it's not subtle at all. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
but whatever. Still, the story between it's kind of interesting. Although this game has, I guess, my biggest complaints about the game: tons and tons of cutscene. Like
Yeah, like even for a JRPG,
even
taking
for
that into account.
JRPG, so it's just like you'll think, oh, I'm getting to a decent stopping point. I'm just gonna talk to this one person, and then you're gonna be there for 20 minutes. So that happened to me last night too, where I was just like, oh, I'll just like go up to my hotel room, and then, oh crap, I guess I'm in a huge new sequence here. All right, well, thanks
It's
game,
a
I guess.
I just want to do sleep.
I
I
just
just want to be
I
asleep.
wanted to sleep in real life game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just like I
Yeah.
understand. I understand completely.
Yeah, so it has a lot of that in it. Granted, the cutscenes are decent.
Mhm.
The characters are pretty interesting. It's a decently well fleshed out world. There's a lot going on, a lot of mystery still, which is good. To the point where I haven't really figured it out. It's usually at this point in the game where I can just point to everything and be like, "Oh, that's that, that's that." Like, he's the evil guy, he's the good person. And while they've pretty much revealed the villain in the game already, there's still a lot of things where I'm just like, I honestly don't know at all what's going on here. So I don't know if that's a plus or not, but
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. It's cool if they like leave, mysteries or something.
yeah.
But
I'm wondering how much of it is they're leaving some of these for the second game. Because again, the game said it was in the final chapter,
yeah,
which when the final chapter title popped up, I was like, oh, really? Okay. Well, this didn't feel like a
this doesn't feel like it.
like it felt like they were building up to a lot more, which I guess they are in a second game. So, um,
Yeah, but I mean, like, did they know the second game was gonna happen? I know you kind of mentioned that, but like,
I gotta
how did
imagine
they
they must
know?
have. Granted, they might have been like kind of developing at the same time because it looks like they share a lot of art assets from what I've seen from screenshots.
Mhm.
So I think they just basically built a set of tools and used them for both games and probably built them simultaneously. So yeah, I don't know. The other thing that I was talking about a little bit with Trey was the orb mitt system, which is how you get spells and abilities essentially in the game. Or spells, not abilities. They're separate things. You have like three different categories of abilities. It's a little insane. Uh,
Yeah,
um,
come on, I'm in.
yeah. uh, So yeah, the spells in the game are determined by the orbs that you have, and different combinations of colors of orbs will give you different abilities. And having like more of certain ones will give you abilities. But I think you also need things like okay, like, for example, there's an orb called heal, so that gives you healing magic, and then you get higher tiers of healing magic. I think by having more blue orbs in your character. So the more of them you get, the higher tier healing you can use. So I thought that was kind of an interesting way of doing it, an interesting system for unlocking it. And then you really have to pay attention to the like 6 orbs or whatever it is that you can equip per character. And then there's like
Yeah.
something like 6 or 7 different colors of orb, all with
Hmm.
different variations within that color of things that they can do. And some of them also give you passives. Like my favorite is one of the guys who has a passive just instant kill, which I'm assuming only works on smaller enemies. Like I granted,
Now you just get to the big bad and you're just like dead.
maybe like I don't think I've seen it happen on higher health targets now that I'm thinking about it.
Mm.
But honestly, there's so much that works on bosses, and like when you encounter a boss, you can just like pop all of your ultimates and just instantly kill him and then just deal with all his minions, which is pretty great in my mind. Because you can just be like, yeah, I don't want to deal with you. Goodbye. Or you can go the other way of dealing with all the minions and then just basically take the boss on yourself. So I don't know. It's an interesting game. There's a lot of actually pretty good strategy in it because it has a little bit of that kind of tactics, like you're moving around on a grid during a battle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
yeah,
I don't know if I'll play
the
it.
combat didn't really come to a head until like really the final chapter for me. So like maybe it'll be more interesting in the second game now that I've finally kind of figured out what's going on.
just in time for them to decide they changed the system or something.
Right? Just for them to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
this orbit system, we're throwing it out.
We're starting
We're
over.
starting over. Some magic event happened and it wiped out all orbits, and good luck. Bye.
I mean, there's been worse retcons in games, or not even worse, just like ones that make less sense.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I'll also have to see how the end of that goes. But it's been a very enjoyable game so far. So,
Oh, good.
I mean, if you like JRPGs, I do recommend Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. It's been an enjoyable experience. A little bit easy until you
Yeah.
get to the final chapter, but there's definitely some strategy once you get a little farther in the game.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Anyway, have you been watching anything?
I haven't been watching anything, but I know we talked a little bit before. You've been watching something,
I
and it leads to
have.
something we need to
We
discuss.
do, because there is some
Yeah.
stuff coming up at the end of this week when we're recording. So in preparation for Netflix's new The Dark Crystal series, I think.
Yeah, I think series.
I was originally under the impression it was a movie, but I think it's a series. I watched the original Dark Crystal, which is also on Netflix.
Yeah. Have you not watched it before?
I
Or...
don't think I have, because I don't remember anything here.
Yeah. I think watched it when I was much younger. I mean, a little bit. I remember some of the stuff that happens. Like I remember Skeksis,
Yep, there's Skeksis,
that type of
the
deal.
evil vulture things. Um, the whatever mystics I think are the good guys. The whatever they call the main character guys race. Geflings, I think that's it.
Yeah, Geflings.
And then there's a handful of other creatures and stuff in it. There was a
Yeah.
lot of names and stuff to pick up for watching it once, and it being like probably 11 o'clock at night, and me being very tired when I watched it.
Yeah.
So I do not really remember the names that well. Uh,
Yeah.
I will say, especially for the time the movie came out, it must have been, and I'm sure, like it was an incredibly impressive feat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as far as it just being like all puppets. So that was really, really interesting. How they
Mm-hmm.
must have pulled that off. At the same time, I don't think it ages well.
Yeah, it is very like I think you were right. It's kind of interesting that they did it all. The fact it's done all puppets, practical effects, but man, puppets are weird.
Yeah,
Can we just agree on
uh
that?
huh. They are a little bit, and part of it just comes out in like the facial expressions just aren't quite there.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if it's gonna be similar for the new series.
Yeah, I don't see. I know very little about the new series. I know it's happening. I don't know what it is. Like, is it? It's not all done
It's
in puppets, right?
Oh no,
It's
it's
CGI or
it's
something.
all well. I'm sure there's going to be some mix,
Yeah.
but it is still almost entirely puppets.
Hmm.
That is something that they have stayed true to the original for.
Yeah.
So that part is definitely interesting. And there's definitely some cool things you
Hmm.
can do with like large puppets and stuff like that. It's just I
Yeah. Well, and
don't
it also looks like
I don't know how
they're
it's
doing
gonna
a
work.
little bit of. Yeah. Sorry. I
Oh no
didn't mean
no,
to
go
like cut
for
it,
it.
but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing a little bit more. Like I was watching like a trailer real quick, just kind of playing in the background. It looks very that they are doing not. It's not all practical effects. There's a lot more CG,
Yes.
which I think blends in.
I think that's gonna help it, honestly.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't look like they're really using any on the characters themselves. So I'm wondering if the
No.
characters are going to be able to be more expressive than they used to be.
I Yeah, I kind of hope so
Yeah.
because I mean that's very like yeah, like you were saying, they'll have these deep dramatic scenes or something, and just it's the same stone face that the guy has when he's super excited about something.
Yeah. I think my other big issue with the original is that the voice actor for the main character, Jen,
Hmm.
uh, did not seem very expressive. Like, I don't know. There was just something about his voice that like just completely put me off from that character, and I just felt like it seemed like the kind of a like phoning in kind of thing, or it's just like there's not really a ton of expression and emotion in the voice that I was expecting, considering everything that was going on.
Hmm.
Also, it had part of the issue that a lot of older ones have, where they don't necessarily sound like they're in the place where they are. Their voices are a little disconnected from the motions and stuff that are going on.
Yeah, it's very, they phoned it in or recorded far off. Like they weren't all in the same room recording.
Yeah, I mean they might have been, but it didn't feel like it really aligned up with the action and with what the puppets and characters were doing, because they obviously weren't recording with the puppets.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
that felt
it's
very disconnected to me.
yeah, I definitely agree. Again, I think I need to go back and watch it again to really know, but puppets are weird. Puppets are always weird.
Puppets are. That said, though, a lot of the set pieces and stuff from the movie were very impressive.
Hmm.
And they had some cool like destruction and stuff going on of set pieces, and um, again for the time, I imagine the puppets were just amazing.
Yeah, I remember very dynamic action scenes for puppets, especially,
Yeah,
but I could be wrong.
I that doesn't really come across as much anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I was probably a literal child.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's also just a lot of things that felt very like they just never really hinted at, and then it was just suddenly a thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm almost wondering if it's nice for them to have this prequel. Like, it seems like Jim Henson, especially, had this whole world and mythos he wanted to build
Oh
out, but
yeah.
had an hour and a half to tell it.
Yeah.
I think there was like, I'm going to Google this real quick, but I want to say that there was like an extended universe almost, like a comic book.
Maybe. That could be interesting. I don't know.
There's some stuff. I found it. It's like there's like, I think visual novels, series from Boom Studios. There's a lot. I think, yeah, I feel like there was a lot more that they made in this universe.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But
Hmm.
from what you were telling me earlier, it sounds like the universe is going to become even more extended.
Oh boy, yeah, because Tyler, I was telling you this, and you want to know about some garbage
Mm-hmm. Oh, you.
or what looks like garbage. Um, if you were going to make a video game, because it's a video game that's going to come out about the Dark Crystal, what genre would you make that video game?
Oh, what genre? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems most natural to make it an RPG.
Hmm.
Something where you can really
Hmm.
experience the like depth of lore and the like beautifulness of the world and all that stuff that's crafted in it. I think that would
Yeah, that'd
really,
be really cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
But
cool. You know what they decided to do for the video game? Final Fantasy Tactics ripoff.
oh man,
Or from what I'm seeing and looking at, pretty sure it's a turn-based. Yeah, basically a turn-based. I think RPG. Calling it an RPG is generous. It's a turn-based strategy RPG.
yeah.
So you're commanding the little characters. I'm gonna send you. I didn't realize it was coming out on multiple systems
Oh,
because I remember. Yeah, I first heard about this. I think it was the last big Nintendo Direct. It was whenever they announced Banjo for Smash. So a few months ago now, they like in like a list when they rapid fired off games. This one was one that they stopped and had like 2 minutes dedicated to worth of trailer for.
wait,
And
really?
Yeah, of all the other games that got like glossed over, this game, I'm going to send you a link to the Steam page, which it apparently has to. It's coming out on all consoles. This game had as much time in this Nintendo Direct given to it as No More Heroes, the new No More Heroes game. And I think almost as much time as like the new Platinum Studios game, like Astral Chain.
Huh.
Like, in all honesty, because in Astral Chain, they just showed a trailer. So, what's going to be better? A Platinum Studios game or this mobile game looking ass tactics game?
I I
Yeah,
like how they
and
even in their description going beyond the events of the upcoming Netflix original series. Like,
yeah. Well, I did some digging while we were talking about this before we recorded. Uh, Everybody tied to this game's productions too. This is a storied history on this game, apparently. The developer, Bonus XP. You want to know what other games they've made?
oh,
The Stranger Things games.
yep.
Yeah. So
So they definitely
I
have a
get
connection with Netflix already. So
yeah, I'm gonna say I get the feeling that this is very much a studio that Netflix has on speed dial of like, hey, make a game about our series.
yeah, it's interesting that they
Yeah.
picked the Dark Crystal as one of the series to make.
Yeah, right. Like of anything, especially like strategy games, give me 2 seconds on Netflix, and I'm sure I'll find something that would be more interesting. I think they just really wanted to go for the pull of like, uh, having like the pull of like maybe trying to get the Jim Henson pull.
Yeah,
But like, okay, just in recent originals, we talked about them the other day. They could have done a game about Invader Zim. Probably just switch the skins out with like aliens and something in Dib.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a game. People would have eaten that game up. Why didn't they make that game?
Yeah, that one could have had
Uh,
some more complications. I don't know if Netflix actually funded completely that movie.
I don't think they did. I did some digging into it, not enough digging to have any confidence in talking about how it all went down, but apparently Nickelodeon with that and the Rocco's Modern Life one kind of gave their blessings to Netflix for airing them.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, so the Dark Crystal expanded universe though is it's expanding.
yeah, it sure is.
Is this what you all wanted?
I like how they
Did you want a shitty?
still say planned release date 2019. So is it not going to be released with like, I don't know, the show to in like 2 days?
You'd imagine. I feel like they're just waiting to release it, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, it'll come out at the same time."
Yeah.
Like it's got to, right?
Yeah, or Netflix, like the show was ready and they like last minute told the studio, "Hey, make us a game." And they're like, "What? We can't do that in like a month."
Oh, I don't know. Hang on, I'm doing some digging because Stranger Things: The Game season 3 came out on July 4th. I'm just gonna look. When did this come out? Oh, it came out on July 4th. So I would not be surprised if this game drops
Sometime,
Friday. Yeah, the same day.
yeah. It's interesting though that they wouldn't have a planned release date on the Steam page at least.
You'd think. I mean, especially because it's coming out in like a bunch of. It's coming out on every system too. Like,
Yeah. Oh man.
and Nintendo, you were hyping this up.
That's true. Like how long ago was that? That was you said that was
It's whenever Banjo.
so that
and
wasn't
Hero
too
got
long ago.
announced for Smash.
Wasn't that like just a couple months ago?
I think it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But this was one of the games that like I talked with people about that direct, and we talked about it in detail. I think maybe on the podcast even, but like that direct was all over the place of like what had the focus. Again, like Astral Chains, the Platinum Studios game. It's like, oh yeah, here's a super awesome new game from Platinum Studios. You guys know how popular Bayonetta is? Yeah, we're not going to give you any more details about this game, but here's a trailer. And then they had like the whole trailer reveal with like the live action puppet talking for the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics.
Oh man, I feel like I need to go back and watch this.
Yeah, I'll try and find it.
That sounds like a special event right there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Nintendo Direct, so it's all just trailers of whoever gave them the most money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's the extended universe of the Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Are you excited? Are you gonna play the game and watch the series? I probably won't.
I mean, I'm at least gonna watch the series. So
I might.
um
I might, but I'm not gonna
so
promise
far
anything.
like an early review of it was positive. Granted,
Yeah.
the same guy also spoke very positively about the original, which, you know, I thought was at least in a modern day okay.
Mm-hmm.
um Again, I'm sure amazing when it came out, but or maybe not even amazing when it came out, but at least a technical feat when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes that's enough to just make some sales.
I mean, yeah, that's what Avatar had running for it for
I
the
know,
longest
and that's
time.
how it became the now second, I think, highest grossing movie.
It is second most highest grossing. Wait till Avatar 2
Yeah, it's the second most gross
in
movie.
2029. Yeah, 2029, 2035.
Oh my, wait,
It'll happen.
when is the next Avatar movie?
I think it was supposed to come out in like 2010, 2015, but it gets pushed back like all the time.
Yeah, because didn't they announce like what, like 5 new movies or something like that at some point?
It was at least supposed to be a trilogy, I remember. Apparently, the finalized day is okay. I see a video that is teaser trailer concept 2020, and then a release date that says 2021.
Oh,
Release date December 17th, 2021.
so 2 years. That's seems like a long development cycle considering when they announced this.
Yeah, it literally, I think, got announced in like, yeah, announced the first two sequels in 2010 following the widespread success of the first film, aiming for a 2014 release date.
Yeah, well then I think it was like 2018 that they announced like the names, or at least the tentative names of like all 4 or 5 sequels that they said they were gonna do.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, blue people Avatar.
Yep.
Hey, you want to play a fun game, Tyler? You know Avatar now second highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Can you quote me one line from that movie?
Um let's go get that unobtainium and stuff. Cut
Mm-hmm.
down trees.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Um
what was the main character's name?
Actually I do know that one.
It is Jake
It's
Sully.
Jake
That one's
Sully.
a little bit of
Yep.
an easier. Yeah. What was the main Navi's name?
No freaking idea.
Yeah, I love playing that game with people.
Yep. Yeah, Jake Sully, I know. That's the only one.
The give me quote, the easiest one is "I see you, Jake Sully."
Oh, yeah. I was gonna just say
That's
Jake Sully for my line, but
yeah, that's the one I hold in my pocket because I have a friend who very much likes to play that game. Of like he still likes Avatar, but it's just really fun when you're like, oh man, that movie's so successful.
yeah. Wasn't there also some song about the colors of the wind in that movie?
No, but there was, I think, Robin Williams doing the baddie rap.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Anyway, I think we're about at that time limit. So we hit all the important things. People
we-
know Final Fantasy Tactics.
We hit all the important
Dark
things.
Crystal.
As far as media goes, there's one more bit of news that we could mention
Oh yeah. I forgot we want to talk about that.
before we head out this week, which is that Telltale is maybe coming back with completely different people, so completely not Telltale.
Yeah, Telltale has been bought by completely different people, and they are possibly going to make completely different games. They got bought by like a mobile
Yeah, it's like a
game studio, didn't
mobile
they?
like game studio that's owned by like some Chinese company or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
Talk about like
yeah.
news I want to love, but I know is going to be
Oh,
bad.
and then like their whole thing of like, oh, well, are you going to take people back from the like original company? And they're like, Yeah, maybe on a contract basis. What?
Yeah, that's ugh. Well, and watch, they're going to be developing. They're not going to develop like the like the classic Telltale style RPGs anymore. They'll make like
Yeah.
SMUP mobile games or something.
Yeah, so at that point, it's basically like, why did they even bother buying the name? I guess just to have news. Like, I
Yeah,
guess they just wanted that sweet news coverage, but that seems like a weird move.
yeah. It's again. I can't. I mean, we can talk about it a bit. I can't talk too much. I don't think it's going to be good.
I don't think so either. I mean, I guess we'll see what they do, but I have utterly no faith in it.
Oh yeah, no, I have zero faith.
Particularly just all the
Maybe they'll
things they've
surprise us.
already said has just lessened that even more.
Hmm.
Like it's just like I already came in with a low bar and then they just said things that made me think, okay, you're just trying to steal the name to have some recognition.
Yeah, it's just hey guys, hey,
Yeah.
we're Telltale Games. See, it'll be the thing where like if they ever make a new game with the Telltale name, they will uh I think they'll essentially just like advertise it as, from the people who made, Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead, blah blah blah. Here
Well, except for they
comes
can't even, they'll say from the studio
yeah, from the
that
studio.
made. And
Hmm.
even though it's not a single person the same,
Nope.
I,
But they have the rights,
they
I
do.
guess.
I think they might have also just wanted to get any like leftover sales from those games because I guess they also got the rights to
Oh,
sell the
okay.
Telltale properties. So now, anytime
Mm,
you buy Telltale games, the money is going to these people who bought Telltale.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, that is whew,
Yup.
not as good.
Nope. But I felt like we had to cover it at least a bit because
Yeah, we have to let the people know if you're all excited about Telltale coming back, they're
they're
not.
not. Nope. Don't let your dreams die right now, right here.
Let your dreams die. We're not getting more Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Among Us is as good as it was getting,
Yup.
and I'll die on this hill.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I
Yeah, on that note, I think we're good. You think we should probably go pick up Trey?
yeah, we should maybe run back and see if he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, like, it's been almost like an hour now. I think that Spirit of Halloween has got to be looking at closing down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's reached the end
Yeah.
of their season.
Yeah, we missed it. Sorry to anybody who was listening. You just missed peak Spirit of Halloween season.
Yeah, yep. So they're all
Yeah.
going to be closing down and come back next year. So yeah, look forward to the 3 hours of Spirit Halloween next year. It's going to
Hmm.
be a good time.
It'll be fun.
Will be.
You can dress up as a $90 Bad Tracer cosplay.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, yeah, why would I dress up as a good Tracer cosplay?
yeah, when I could have a shitty knockoff runny teleport girl costume.
Yeah. But either way, I think that's it. So, you guys have been great. We'll see ya.
Love you, dumpster goblins.